The hate crime strategy is really important because it's around three key areas: challenge it, report it and stop it. And we are very keen that people who have been the victims of hate crime or discrimination report those incidents to give us a better picture of what's actually happening in Leeds. The real crux of the matter is it being reported? Are crimes of this nature being reported effectively? Through this strategy, through children's services, the answer is yes.
Racism. What is it? For those who are unaware or unsure what racism is treating someone differently or unfairly simply because they belong to a different ethnic community or are a different race to you. People can also experience racist comments because of their religion or nationality. Racism takes many different forms. It is ongoing throughout the world, and shockingly, nearly 88,000 racist incidents were recorded in Britain's schools between 2007 and 2011. These can include name-calling and physical abuse because of skin colour or faith. The United Kingdom, like most countries, has experienced and inflicted racism against various groups at various times in its history. It has and always will be a main issue in our country and many others. So, how would you like to be called names because of your cultural beliefs, traditions, or even the skin you were born with? Well, this is happening every day, everywhere. Racism is one of the world's major issues today. A number of people, including adults, aren't fully aware of how much racism endures in our society today. Racism can be seen in incidents of racist abuse, harassment and discrimination of a person because of the race they have inherited. It can be said to anyone. It is very important that these things change because these past few years it has increased staggeringly with mean and rude things said. It is a form of bullying. People think it's cool or funny to tease them for their accent, birthplace, and even how they're not good at something. All of the above points I have said are racism and are all despicable. They create a negative and sometimes dangerous emotional response. It can not only lead to social problems, but in severe cases violence. For example, many riots have been caused all around the world due to racism. It is very childish, and if people think it's funny, they need to look at the horrifying things that it may cause.
Well, it started when I was at primary school, and I used to get called fat and have people saying stuff about the fact that I'm black and my freckles and my hair, and it wasn't very nice. I got called a Paki once, which was quite weird because I'm not Asian. My mum got a lot of stick from it because She has 3 black children, well, 3 half black children, and people where I used to live didn't seem to like be okay with that for some reason. In primary school, I spoke to my mum and my teachers, but my mum was helpful because she's my mum and she's amazing. But the teachers weren't particularly helpful. But when I moved up to high school, they had like this system called peer mentoring, and it's like the kids did do training courses to help like anti-bullying, and so they'd be able to talk to people that like self-harmed and are bullied, and they were really helpful because that person would keep an eye out on me when I was around school, and if they saw anything happen then they'd talk to me and cheer me up, which is quite nice. And then if anything too bad happened, they would report it to a teacher, and because I found that when someone else had seen it or noticed it, the teachers tended to help more, and it came from someone else better than it does from you, because like teachers can be quite patronising. So if you can have the meeting that teachers try to have with you with someone closer to your own age, it's a lot easier to talk because you don't feel like you're going to get in trouble for saying what you want to say. And that's kind of like why I decided to become a peer mentor at my school. I think it's important to have a system for reporting hate crime, because otherwise people feel really trapped and they don't really want to do much, and everyone needs a voice. Like even people that you don't think get it probably do, and they need to like notice when they're getting it so it can be stopped, because it's just not okay. It's really bad, upsetting.
With restorative practice, you kind of let your feelings out and the other person let their feelings out, and you kind of listen to both sides of the story, and you kind of see where your friend is coming from, because I think without restorative practice a lot of feelings do get left inside and feel like, oh, because he or she is my friend, I can't let my feelings out to them, they might get mad at me or whatever. It's a way of being in a calm environment and talking to the person who's affected, and the way you're feeling and expressing your emotions to the person so they can understand your point of view and you can understand their point of view. And it's just a way of bringing harmony to everyone and just getting on together as one. When they leave high school, it's going to be a skill that they're going to take with them to their workplace or wherever they go to. So if you come into a situation that you don't know how to resolve it, they might think, RP, I did it in high school, let me try this on this person, let's see how it works out. So it will be a very harmonised city, and everyone will just get on a lot better than they do now. And yeah, it'll just be a really, really nice city to be in.
The hate incident supporting system is a way for children and young people to report instances of hate crime, whether it's through because of their gender, or sexual orientation, religion, disability, and the numerous different characteristics. And it's a way of ensuring that young people and children feel safe, know how to report the hate crime, and there's a vehicle that they can do that through. I think the benefit for schools to use this system is that they have the support from the City Council and different agencies to really support and tackle different types of behaviour. So we can see whether is this a pattern of behaviour in a particular school or area that we really need to look at, or is this an isolated incident that we need to kind of really home down on. So I think the support that we can offer to schools using this system is a real key benefit, as well as making sure that the outcome is for the children and the young people. So again, that they feel safe going to school and knowing that they've got a way to report hate crime if they're experiencing it. We're able to use this information that we gather to feed into the children and young people's plans, so we can take a strategic view of what's happening in the city, and if there's any particular patterns of behaviour that we need to be concerned about and that we need to have a more strategic role in targeting. So by gathering this information, we can take a whole picture rather than just pockets of information. So by really taking a strategic view on how we tackle hate crime, we can really benefit young people and children, because we know that bullying really damages young people's opportunities and their outcomes and their attainment levels. So by stamping out bullying and hate crime, we're able to push them forward and make sure they have all the opportunities open to them. I think I grew up with a disability at school, and I know what it's like to be able to be singled out by people because of something different about you. And if I'd have had this opportunity to be able to report those instances of bullying that I experienced, I think I'd have felt a lot safer and a lot more confident going into a learning environment.